And then in 2007, I was in a really bad vehicle accident with an ex. He hit a culvert head on, and when it hit it, it made the truck buckle, and I flew through the front windshield, so it broke pretty much everything on my left side. It was like the prescription era for like any kind of opiates.
Yeah.
They would write them left and right, so they were like literally just handing them out, and I took them. I was in pain. I truly was.
Yeah.
July of 2008, my dad had actually died from drug overdose. And that really sent me down. That was probably, not even the wreck, that was probably my absolute breaking point.
The space you live or work in sets the tone for how you feel and how you show up to the world. If it's dull, worn, or just good enough, you'll feel it every single day. Fresh Coat Surfaces in Murfreesboro, Tennessee doesn't do good enough. They transform homes and businesses with craftsmanship that you can see, quality you can feel, and pride that lasts long after the job is done. From bold statement walls that make you proud to walk in the room, to flawless exterior finishes that turn heads when people pull up, they understand the details that matter. And in the Relentless Pursuit, the details are everything. Whether you're building a business, raising a family, or you just want a space that inspires you, Fresh Coat Surfaces brings that vision to life and makes it last. Fresh Coat Surfaces. Paint your world with purpose, one coat at a time. Are you pumped?
Yes.
What is up, everybody? This is Joe Adams, and welcome to the Relentless Pursuit Podcast. What we do on this podcast is bringing guests from all different backgrounds, all different walks of life to share their journey and everything along the way that led them to where they're at today. In a world full of algorithms, filters, and artificial everything, this podcast is a reminder of what's real. Authentic, raw conversations, and the kind of human connection that can't be faked. We're here to make an impact, and that is what we do. So if that is for you, like, subscribe, all those wonderful things. And if that is not for you, I don't know what your problem is, but it's time to jump on board today. Thank you. But without further ado, I would love to introduce today's guest, Miss Brooke Moore.
Hey.
Yay. Welcome.
Hello.
It's so good to have you here.
I'm glad to be here.
Guys, a little backstory. Brooke and I have been Facebook friends
Yes.
for a long time.
Yes.
I don't know how that came to be. You could probably dive into that, but I ran into her when I first moved into this space. I heard somebody yell my name, and she was in her UPS truck. She's like, "I love your stuff. Your daughter is adorable." And I was like, man, that felt really good. You know, I'm going through a lot of stuff, moving to this spot, and I was like, I'm known out there.
You are.
So no, it was really cool. And then I ran into you a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
Doing your thing. And I was like, I think you got a story.
Oh.
You were like, I sure do.
I do.
Get you on here. So yeah, I don't know. How did you get connected with me?
I believe when I came into recovery in 2018, I believe you do the Facebook thing where you're friends with so many people, they're in recovery, so I'm going to friend them. And I think that's how we became friends.
2018. Yeah, you probably saw a lot of the rec stuff.
Yeah. I do remember seeing you with something with your leg. So
all jacked up. Yeah. So then you've been friends since then.
Yeah.
And here you are. Isn't it cool how things come to be?
Yes.
And just the timing. Perfect.
It is.
Yeah. So well, I'm honored to have you here.
Thank you.
So just tell us what it looks like today for you presently, right? Just in your, career, whatnot, and maybe even spiritually, just present day life. What does that look like for you right now?
Present day life is, getting up every day and my kids, getting them to school, packing lunches, having a routine, going to work, working hard all day, and then doing it again at night, picking them up and cooking dinner and doing homework and activities. It's very kid involved.
Which is a good thing, right?
Yeah.
You're enjoying it.
I do.
What is something that you do every day that keeps you grounded, given where you've been, and we're going to dive into that, but like, what's something that maybe just the consistency or, I don't know, the structure, but it just keeps you grounded every day, keeps you going forward?
Honestly, probably clocking into a job and having that job for years and being proud of something that I have worked so hard to get. That is very grounding to me, to know that I worked hard to get that. It was not handed to me. I had to work hard for that, and I have to be thankful for it.
So when you wake up, that's your reminder.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're there.
Those kids, that job.
That's everything.
Yeah.
So let's take it back to the beginning of your journey. Where are you from? Where were where were you born? Let's talk about your childhood. Let's dive into some of those things that maybe influenced who you became or the journey along the way. And yeah, let's just start in the early days.
I was born in Wayne County, Tennessee.
Okay.
Hence the Southern twang.
Yeah.
So Tennessee River kid.
I thought you were from like the Bronx.
Yeah, totally.
That's what I was thinking. No, I'm just kidding.
It's bad when you still live in Tennessee and people make fun of your accent. They're like, "Where are you from?" I'm like 2 hours that way. Like, not that far.
It's crazy what 2 hours to do to your
It really
accent.
is. It really is. But I grew up in a tiny little town. It was like K through 12th school.
Yeah.
Like 200 students total.
Dang.
Everybody knew everybody.
Yeah.
To this day, there's still not one stoplight in Clifton, Tennessee.
Really?
It is such a small little town, but it's so beautiful.
Yeah. You said which direction is it?
It's like west.
West?
It's between, I'm going to say, do you know any, like Perry County or Lewis County, Columbia?
Yeah.
Okay, you got Columbia, Perry County, and then Wayne County area.
Okay.
Clifton.
Okay. Is that far from like Lawrenceburg?
I lived in Lawrenceburg.
Okay. My buddy lives in Etheridge.
Oh, okay.
My brother Jake. Yeah. So
it's like 45 minutes.
Okay, cool. Nice. So yeah, it is a beautiful area.
Yes.
Yeah. Very hilly and
Yeah.
it's perfect. That's picturesque Tennessee.
Yes.
Yeah. I love it. Well, what was that like?
It was good. I mean, I grew up in the 80s and early 90s to where, I had an older brother, and we would leave the house when the sun came up, and we were either on a dirt bike or a go-kart or carrying BB guns.
Heck,
you
yeah.
just never knew what we were going to go do. And we would not come back until right before dark.
Yeah. Sounds like a beautiful life.
It was good. The outside of my life as a kid was good, being outside. And maybe that's why I stayed gone all the time, is because that was about the most peace I ever had.
So, if you don't mind sharing, what was it like inside?
Very chaotic. My mom was super young. I believe she was 15 when she had my brother.
Oh, dang.
And turned 16 a month later. And then I was born when she was 17. We were like 18 months apart. My dad was 10 or 11 years older than my mom.
Wow.
Yeah. So he had already had a daughter. I have a half sister as well. And, my mom was a baby with babies.
Yeah.
And, I have my first memory is like of my dad, like not being very nice. And I was tiny. And I can still picture where my crib was in the room and watching my mom like through a window running from him. But that's what I seen. I did live it through what he was doing to her, but he never did those kinds of things to me.
Yeah.
But still, and for a long time I used to throw on my mom's face. I'm like, you gave me away. She did not give me away.
Yeah.
She did the best she could, and I will forever be grateful for that. But I don't think my mom realized what who she gave us to take us until we got older and she was more stable and able to care for us. The person was. It was my dad's my dad's mom. It was my grandmother.
Okay, so how old were you when you moved in with your grandmother?
I was a baby.
Okay, and what's crazy is you bringing up that memory, which is great memory, not a great memory, but it's that was an imprint on how relationships are going to be one day.
Yeah.
That's a powerful imprint too.
Yeah.
So, and we'll get to that later on. And that's, I mean, it's heartbreaking too, that you remember that first memory. Do you talk to so you have a relationship with your mother. What about your father?
My father died.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He died in 2008 from a drug overdose.
Okay. So yes, we'll definitely get to that then. Well then, so you were still a baby, moved in with grandmother.
Yeah.
Take us there.
I lived with my grandmother and grandfather, and my aunt actually lived in front of them. Okay. So we all kind of had like a little compound. And for the longest, I remember going back and forth from each house, but the only peace I ever had was either being away from that house, or I had this really, really sweet aunt that would come and get me. And I still think about her to this day. I still talk to her sometimes. She was so good to me. That was the most peace. She would take me to church. She would take me to do things. My brother, on the other hand, my grandmother's famous words to me was, she hates a pissy-ass little girl. Mm. She never liked me, even as an innocent child. She just never liked me.
For no reason. For no
reason. It was maybe, I've heard people say that generation of women, like those grandmothers during that time, did not. It's like some grandmothers had an issue with granddaughters, and
which is weird.
It was weird because she treated her own daughter, which was another aunt of mine, she treated her kind of poorly as well. But now my dad, who was either institutionalized or in jail or prison, that was her pride and joy. So she reflected the pride and joy for my dad onto my brother. Who was just praised. He was praised.
Yeah, and he probably got away with whatever while you were just like, that focus was on you and all, with all the negative stuff. Yeah. It's weird because, I think about like my daughter's grandparents. Yeah. Like on both sides, like, it's like, damn, she's got it nice. Yeah. They're obsessed with their granddaughter. And their grandsons. So yeah, that is a wild perspective. Honestly, it doesn't make sense to me. Maybe one day I'll have an elderly lady and ask her what it is on here. You know what I'm saying? Why the hatred? But so that obviously played a massive effect. And so were you with her through your whole childhood?
I was with her. I finally moved in with my mom, and she had remarried my stepdad, which was an amazing man, when I was 9. But up until that point, my grandmother, I don't know about addiction prior really, but I know she lost my dad's brother, which was my uncle. He and my dad were in a car accident together, and it killed my uncle. And my grandmother went off the rails, lost it, was drinking. It was really bad. And I remember that very well. I remember the beatings very well too. She's very, very verbally, emotionally, physically abusive. And even to my brother, whom she praised. Yeah. She was just an abusive, not a very kind lady. Yeah.
That kills me.
Yeah. I feared, because what's so bad is she would talk so negatively about my mom, and she gave you away. Your mom's a piece of crap and she didn't want you. But when I would go to my mom and my stepdad's before I actually moved and lived with them, it was so peaceful and normal. I'm like, this is normal. This is, why does she say these things? And what it did is had the opposite effect. Yeah. Instead of feeding into her bullshit, I'm like, you're absolutely insane. Yeah. Why are you so mean? Why are you so hateful? And why do you hate her so bad? Yeah. But now looking back at it on the relationship she's had with women, I don't think she ever liked any of us. Yeah. Any of us.
I think it was, it's probably just, there was a reflection of herself that she didn't want to see.
Yeah, totally.
Typically that hatred is almost always self-projection.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So there's something with her that she despises so much that the only way she knows how to get that out is just target others.
Yeah.
That's really sad.
Mm.
Damn. Well, so you moved back in with your mom when you were 9. And obviously your mom like gave you, she was a kid.
Yes.
She didn't even know who the hell she was. And now
Right.
she's got kids, and like, the dad was like, an older guy. It's like, it's just a crazy scenario anyways.
Right.
And then obviously, I guess you grew up a little bit more, and then took you back in. So yeah, take us from then on. Did you try to stay distant? Did you tell her about your grandmother?
Oh, she knew. My grandmother was the same way towards her.
Oh.
She was never very good to my mom, but my dad was in and out of prison, and that's about, other than a very few memories I have of not visiting or having a memory of my father in prison. My mom had never been in any trouble. She had, met somebody that was amazing. They were together for, I think, 18 years, and that was like a father to me. That was a dad to me. Even though I still was that little girl that craved my actual father, craved a relationship with him and wanted normalcy, but I didn't know any different.
Yeah.
I was just drug everywhere with my brother and my grandmother to go see him. I mean, every weekend.
Yeah.
But right before I moved in with my mom and my stepdad, I kept thinking about it. I'm like, I have to tell my grandmother I want to live with my mom. And the fear I felt, I was terrified. And I knew my brother wanted to go too. And I finally told her, and she said, that's fine. Pack your shit, but your brother's not going.
So y'all were separated?
We were separated. He did eventually come. I don't know if he came at that time that I went, but he was there for a while.
Yeah.
But the phone calls, I can remember her calling my mom's house and talking to my brother, and she's like, if you come back, I'll buy you the truck you want. If you come back, I'll buy you a 4-wheeler or a motorcycle. And she would do that. She wanted him back so bad.
Oh my God. You paused after saying like, yeah, she said, pack your shit. Mm-hmm. What kind of that, along with, the rest of this, what kind of, I guess, belief did that give you about yourself that you started? I'm sure that was something that you've carried throughout your life.
Oh, absolutely.
100%. So yeah, like at such a young age, what do you think your self-belief was at this time?
I mean, honestly, I would probably say I felt that I wasn't worthy to have a normal relationship with someone that should have been like a mother to me, or it left me very, I guess, empty to relationships. And probably because of that, I have never, like family now, I really don't have relationships with my family. It's very surface level.
Yeah.
I keep it very, hey, how are you? Miss you, love you. But to call and talk to family, I'm very bad about it, and I wish I wasn't. But there's just something there that I keep everybody at a safe distance.
You have a boundary. Mm-hmm. And that's hard for people. That boundary thing, family, is like something people just don't understand. It's like set boundaries with everybody else, but you can't do it with family. And I'm like, no, you need to set boundaries with everybody in your life.
Oh, absolutely.
That's how you have a healthy relationship.
Yes.
But it's for some reason, like people get really crazy about if you do set any kind of boundaries, right? And, that's on them. But what's best for you and your health is to keep a boundary and just love them.
Yeah.
And that's that, and maybe one day things will shift, but that's not the priority. You got your priorities and your focus, and that's you're being the best mom you can.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing.
That's probably why I do, again, overcompensate for so much with my kids. I'm always very loving. Now, I will get on to them. They get in trouble. They're disciplined. But I love them more than I have to do that.
Yeah.
And they will never not think, man, my mom didn't love me, because there's not an ounce of them that will not think, God, my mom gets on my nerves because she wants to hug me all the time, or she's always messing with me. They know I'm there. I'm very honest with them, and that's probably why I'm that way with them, is because I never had that.
Yeah, it's something you want to you wanted so badly to pour into your own. Listening to you talk reminds me a lot of my mother.
Yeah.
You know, she was the youngest of 7. You know,
Wow.
crazy household, a lot of addiction and abuse and stuff like that. She's the only one that got out with a normal life. You know, I mean, there's only her and like 3 of her siblings left.
Wow.
Right. And, you know, they're like kind of going downhill. And so, you know, and it kills me, you know, and she's always been so loving.
Yeah.
So loving. And it's a beautiful thing. I mean, you can't match it really, but she knows what, I mean, she saw it all.
Yeah.
She knows what she dealt with her whole childhood. And she was like, I want everything but that.
Yeah.
And so, when I hear you talk, it reminds me of my mother. So, it's heartbreaking, but also like beautiful because y'all chose to create a different life.
Yeah. I would never want to be a parent and be so cold, or even to a grandchild. I mean, my oldest will be 22 next weekend. If she came to me tomorrow and was like, I'm pregnant, or, you know, I'm thinking about it, I would be like, I can't, you know what? I'm going to be the best gang, because I'm not a grandma. I'm going to be gang.
Yeah, okay.
That you can imagine.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I freaking love it. Protein Snack Shop isn't here to hide nutrition in cardboard packaging. They handcraft decadent tasting bars, blondies, and even cheesecakes that happen to be gluten-free, vegan, or keto friendly. Honey or erythritol sweetened. Honey or erythritol sweetened, and free from soy and preservatives. Created in Smyrna, Tennessee by Dana and Sonny Hampton, this couple turned a small kitchen passion project into a statewide snack phenomenon without sacrificing taste or integrity. In a world drowning in artificial influence and surface level noise, this is different. The Relentless Pursuit Podcast does not chase likes or clicks. It's raw, real, and it's built on purpose. This show doesn't just speak to minds, it speaks to souls. And that's exactly why Protein Snack Shop belongs here. Because your snacks aren't just high protein, they're high integrity. So are you ready to energize deeper than macros?
I was telling someone the other day that my favorite song is Wild Horses by the Rolling Stones.
Yeah?
And I will never forget where I was the first time I ever heard that song.
Where at?
Ever. And that song means so much to me. And I don't know why, but it just always stuck with me.
Where does it take you?
You know, it talks about wild horses couldn't drag me away. I guess it maybe makes me think of my kids, or, you know, all the things that I've been through with them. Like, nothing's going to take me away. I will always be there.
Yeah.
So.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, it reminds me, my mom always said the song Simple Man reminded her of me. And I always thought, you know, based off past relationships and stuff, that I was really complicated. I'm like, that makes no sense. You know, even my past relationship was like, simple, that makes sense, you know. And I'm like, all right, I'm complicated, because I had like big dreams and stuff. But I realized like recently I listened to that song and it made me emotional. And I was like, my mom's right. Like, it's simple. I have a huge, big dream, and that may seem complicated to folks, but at the end of the day, I just want to like serve other people.
Yeah.
And help people heal. Yeah. You know, and provide for my family and be a good man. Like, that's simple as shit. I don't need all the fancy things. I don't care about all that. You know? It is pretty simple. And I was like, damn, actually that song makes a lot of sense. So it's cool when you can go back. And there's 2 songs by this group, Gunship. I love them. And I always play these 2 songs when I get my daughter out of the bath. And like, she's drying, you know, she's like, I'm cold, you know? And so like I wrap her up and she lays her head on my chest, and like we just dance to them. And like, I listened to them this morning on the way here, and I was like getting chills the whole time. And I was like, oh my God. Anyways, whew. Yeah. Emotions get high, you know? Beautiful stuff.
I was reading about like how people are empaths, and that word is thrown out there a lot. When somebody resonates so much with music and they feel from it the goosebumps, the emotions, I cannot remember what they call that, but it's some word, and it's very rare. That it's not so much that you're an empath, it's that you just feel differently than others.
We're just better.
Yeah.
Than other people. I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
Totally.
We're so much better. It's funny. My wife's not like that, but like also I'm kind of maybe glad,
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely more that kind of person, but we are perfect combination. Right. But she's like, are you crying? Like during a movie. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, because I understand, like I relate to it because you can find connection and everything. And I'm like, really can.
And maybe it's an addict thing, addict thing, or
I think it's just all the experience.
Yeah, that's very true.
I think the more you experience, it all just comes together. Like I've been through and seen and faced a lot of different things,
Right.
Just like you and in our own ways. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's just like experience, just like, I don't know. That's what the journey is all about.
Yeah.
I think it connects you more.
We've lived a life of probably 20 people.
Yeah. I love it. Let's keep let's keep doing it in our own way, like in healthier ways, right? I guess, you moved in with your mother. Mm-hmm. Things are better there. Your stepfather's great. You got a relationship with him as well. Mm-hmm. It's still today, right? They're still together, or
they are not together.
Oh, okay. But he was a great man.
Wonderful.
Well, I'm glad for that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do want to ask, maybe some of those moments or influences from then, are there any that you may now see as warning signs in other people?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm typically the person, I can instantly, when I meet someone, I'm like, yeah, no, not a good person.
Really?
Not a good person. Or I'm like instant best friends with somebody. Like, it's like that. I don't know if it's just what they put off or how they speak, but I'm very intuitive of, no.
Yeah.
And typically, like, I have friends at work that I'm like, that guy is not a good guy. I'm telling you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, all right, well, I'll just sit back and watch. And when he shits on you, I don't want to hear anything.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he's not a good person.
My wife's friend just went through a split up with, a guy, and anyways, it got pretty bad. And long story short, I just remember being like, I'm not hanging out with him.
Yeah.
Like, he's just, nope, I don't get a good feeling from the dude. Mm-hmm. And what do you know? Like, and I'm saying like, oh, I called it, but like, I just felt it from right off the bat. I was like, something's off.
Yeah.
He's not my kind of guy.
Yeah.
And I that said, like, there's people that maybe do negative things, or like I meet people, and I like, maybe some of their actions aren't the best, but they still got that light within them.
Yeah.
It hasn't been completely darkened, and I can give them chances because I believe everybody can overcome that.
Right.
I have.
They have to want to.
Yeah. But you got to, how do they go in and find that light and bring it out? Right. So, but that's, is it worth it sometimes too? Because some people are going to try to take you down with them. So, there's a lot of other different factors there. But yeah, everybody has that within them to a degree. But so you're able to just tell that, those warning signs then.
Instantly.
Yeah.
I can meet people and I'm like, oh my God, it's like we're soul sisters, just like immediate friends. And I can tell her anything. I have a ton of friends that I've been like that. Like, it was instant friendship. It's my best friend. I still call her my sponsor because technically she is my sponsor. She's in the program as well. I knew of her and we were going to the same home group, but I'd never like really talked to her. And we were in a meeting one day and we were sitting next to each other and somebody was like, well, when they do that, and me and her looked at each other and we were like, he said doo-doo.
Doo-doo. They're like, grow up.
It was just instant.
That's so funny.
I've been we've been to Mexico the past 2 years together.
That's awesome.
Had a blast.
Oh, I'm so glad for that.
I love her to death.
That's good.
She's a sister to me. She truly is.
That's what you need. That's beautiful. And that's what you're content with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you had said before, like the dating pool thing hasn't been a priority. You're focused on your career and your kids and all that stuff. And you got your best friend,
right?
Like that. You're content. You're happy there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a couple of best friends. I can say that. Like, I've never really been one that's had a ton of friends. I keep my friends very close. But I mean, over the past year, I've made a new really good friend that I absolutely love and adore. And she just recently went through a divorce, and she's really struggled with that. Her advice to me was, Brooke, you talk to him like you talk to me. You give me the best advice.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome. Well, before I do ask you one question, it reminds me recently, someone that was a friend of mine came at me about some stuff, and he was like, "You've lost more friends than I can count, than I've ever had." Da, 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 da. And I'm like, you're right.
mm-hmm.
He was trying to like make me feel like shit.
Right.
And I was like, you're 100% right. And I'm glad for that. Like, I've got the people I need.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
out.
You're along with them. You're the ones that didn't need. We didn't resonate. Our paths didn't align. So you're on a different direction. So yeah, I mean, I'm just making that circle even tighter.
Yeah.
And I've got good, beautiful people in my life.
Same.
So you got to be grateful for it too.
Yeah.
That loss, Now, I do want to ask, if you go back to your teenage self, what would you tell her?
Probably that I don't have to grow up so fast. I feel like I really raised myself kind of in a way, and I was way ahead of my years with the things I did, or, partying. I mean, we were partying when we were in 4th and 5th grade.
Yeah.
We would steal our parents' alcohol.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's
Steal
young.
alcohol. Yeah. I remember I was maybe 12 or 13, and I went to a party at a creek with my brother, and it was the first time I'd ever drank alcohol. Well, it's the first time I'd ever gotten really drunk, and I drank Wild Turkey.
Mm.
I wouldn't drink Wild Turkey as a 55-year-old man.
Oh, God. That makes me want to
I was a 13-year-old child.
That makes me want to puke.
It was disgusting. I'll never forget that.
Just thinking about it. Oh.
Yeah. It was in front of me all the time. My mom and my stepdad he made her, not that she was a bad person, but he definitely made her a better person. He was a wonderful man. The only thing I will say about my stepdad was he really pushed church and God and all that down our throats. And I believe in God.
Yeah.
I had my years where I was angry at God, but I believe in him. But I mean, I had to be at church every time the doors were open.
Yeah.
Twice on Sunday, once on Wednesday, a couple of classes on Thursday, choir, whatever it may be. But I was really pushed into it, and I resented him for that.
Yeah. That seems to be common for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Almost that, like, the forced of it, I mean, me, I'm, you probably heard me talk about my spiritual path.
Yeah.
Like, I believe in God, and people get surprised by that. They're like, how? And I'm like, through my way. But anyways, I'm not going to explain all that.
Right.
Then, when I was younger, my mom, like, definitely was very proactive about God. She found a Busta Rhymes tape.
Oh, I was going to say something about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she made me go to the Christian bookstore and get some Christian tapes. And I was like, it's not really my flavor. But,
right.
Anyways, things have changed, and they really, like, accept, like, my beliefs and, like, understand it's bigger to them, right? Based off of my experience. So that being said, like, I'm never going to push something on my daughter. Like, we're going to teach her our ways. My wife she's Christian. So, but we're going to let her heart be guided, right?
And that's the way it should be. I completely agree with you. I think even though kids are young and impressionable and they don't know, they know if they want to, that be like such a big focus. Maybe ask them, hey, do you want to go to Sunday school this morning, or this or that? But it was pushed down my throat. You said the Busta Rhymes tape. I won a jump rope contest at school.
Uh-oh.
I won a CD player. Like, I busted my tail to win the CD player. I was so good at jump roping. And my first CD I bought was Limp Bizkit. The second one was No Doubt.
Yeah.
My stepdad found my Limp Bizkit CD and broke it in half.
Was it the Chocolate Starfish one?
Probably.
I had that CD, yeah.
He broke it.
Dang.
Yeah. So I can only listen to, like, Creed or Christian music, which I still like Creed. Nothing wrong with Creed. But if he only knew, like, what I was listening to outside of that house.
Yeah.
It was 3-6 Mafia and Dr. Dre. And
Limp Bizkit's nothing.
No.
It gets dark.
No, Limp Bizkit has nothing on this. But yeah, I mean, I think that pushed me a lot too to rebel. I was very rebellious.
Yep. Oh, man, that's such a common theme as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so, being rebellious, when did, I guess, addiction start coming into the picture? Was that after childhood or?
I dabbled in school. Definitely dabbled in school.
Okay.
We would smoke weed and take some pills every now and then, mainly just drinking. But I got pregnant with my daughter, my oldest daughter. I graduated early, so I'd gotten pregnant with her. I had her in September, and I turned 19 in October. And I can remember after having her.
What year was this?
That was 2003.
Okay.
I graduated a semester early, but I walked in 2003.
Okay.
So it definitely started after that. I had never sought like any counseling or help for, my trauma is, I guess, or my past, what I was dealt as a child. I had no say-so over,
So you started to lean into the drugs as like the thing that kind of grounded you?
Yes. And it was not like, I do remember one time I didn't realize why, but now that I think about it, I was actually going through withdrawal. And I had no idea that's what it was.
Really? At this time?
Yes.
Dang.
I was probably 20. And then in 2007, I was in a really bad vehicle accident with an ex. He had a culvert head on. So Jaden, my oldest Jaden, she would have been about 3 at this time. We hit a culvert head on, and I was asleep in the passenger seat on my right side, did not have a seatbelt on. But we hit this culvert doing 70. And when it hit it, it made the truck buckle, and I flew through the front windshield. So it broke pretty much everything on my left side. I was hospitalized for weeks. Had to have, I think it was 3 or 4 surgeries. Almost lost part of my leg because my ankle was so badly. It was terrible. That's the one thing I remember is waking up in the emergency room, and I was screaming because I had broke some stuff in my back. I broke my pelvic bone, and I looked down and my ankle was like completely behind me, and I'm like, oh my God, and I just passed back out.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So you like pretty much were knocked out in the wreck and woke up in the hospital.
Yes. They found me on the hood of the truck, like laid over on the hood. And they had said if your ankle had not taken where the truck buckled, it smushed it, you would have flown out of that truck. You would have went flying.
Who were you with? Was this your ex-husband?
No, it's an ex. Well, we did get married for a brief time, but it was after that.
Okay. So you started, like, I guess you were on meds and stuff starting in 2005, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that was like a couple years.
Yeah.
And then this accident happened.
Mm-hmm.
How did that shift your perspective? That seems to be a pretty tough memory for you.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't realize either at that point. I was so oblivious to it because from the 2005 till the 2008, I dabbled in it. It was not like I was really like hardcore. I do remember now, thinking about it and later on in life, thinking about it, I did go through a withdrawal at one point for a few days. I didn't realize that's what it was at the time. I was so oblivious to it.
So you dabbled, but you dabbled for such a long time that you still had a withdrawal.
Yeah.
But that you didn't realize until much later. So after the wreck, how did things shift that way?
From the surgeries and everything like that, they would just, back in 2008, it was like the prescription era for like any kind of opiates.
Yeah.
They would write them left and right. So they were like literally just handing them out. And I took them. I was in pain. I truly was. And thinking back on it, after I'd had Jaden in 2003, I had a little bit of back pain from that pregnancy. And I believe that's kind of what sparked me to start taking it, because my back bothered me all the time.
Yeah.
But, I was not able to keep a job being on the opiates. I remember at one point, 2007, the car accident. In in July of 2008, my dad had actually died from drug overdose. And that really sent me down. That was probably, not even the wreck, that was probably my absolute breaking point.
So at this time, because, you said your dad was a bit older, so y'all had bridged somewhat of a relationship by this time?
Yeah, even though my dad was incarcerated a lot, when he was home, we had a really good relationship. And I remember at his funeral, all the people would be like, man, your dad talked about how proud he was of you. And it makes me want to tear up. But yeah. Damn. The things my dad had done to other people, he never did to me.
Yeah. He loved you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're his little girl.
Right.
Yeah.
I also think he's seen what his mom did to me and how she treated my brother. So he was like a protector of that. Like, I don't ever remember him spanking me, disciplining me. Like, I was daddy's little girl.
Yeah.
Even when he was gone, he would write me letters. Like, just as bad as it was still good.
Yeah.
As weird as that sounds, like,
no, that's,
it was still good.
Yeah.
He was not a very good man to other people. Like, I know he put my mom through hell. Like, put her through absolute hell. But that's her story.
Yeah.
She had to live that, and I hate that for her. But he never did that to me. And, now my grandfather passed away a couple weeks ago, and we were on our way to the burial. And she was telling me about, like, my dad and stuff and some stuff he had done. And I'm like, you know what, Mom? I mean, I hate that he did that to you. But I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I just don't want to know.
Yeah. It's not, you want to, the memories you do have of him, especially between you and him.
Yeah.
Those are fond.
Yeah.
They are. And that's what you want to maintain.
Yeah.
I mean, your mom's situation isn't yours to carry, right? Yeah. Sometimes it's better not to know, I feel.
Yeah. I let her talk, and I'm not mad at her for telling, but it's just something I just don't want to know. Yeah.
That's why it's good. I always feel it's better for people when I talked about, like, how do people heal? Well, to talk.
Yeah.
But typically it's better not to talk to somebody or your spouse or someone you're in a relationship with, because you're always going to think they'd look at you differently. It may taint other relationships. Like, maybe talk to someone you just feel like you can trust, Yeah. But yeah, so that messed you up pretty bad. So was there a pretty bad spiral after that, I imagine?
There was. I had already been on the pain medication from the car accident in 2007.
Yeah.
So he had actually been out of prison for years at this point. My dad had been. He had been doing really good. He had his own place. He was running like a little shop. He would work on cars as a mechanic. My dad was very talented.
Yeah.
He could do anything. I've always said that about even myself, my brother, my dad. We are all three. We were just, if you want us to do it, we can do it.
You're so capable.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We're very, very good with stuff like that. And he had actually done something and had to go back to jail for, it was like 30 days for probation. And he got out, and I had never seen my dad messed up. My dad liked to take, he was opiate addict, as well as he loved like any sort of benzo. Yeah, benzo, that's what I was looking for. So I never seen him like that. My brother did, but I never seen him like that. He would hide that from me, and I'm so glad he did, because I wouldn't want to see that. But he got out, and he was over at a friend's house or something, and he was like IV user, I guess you could say, for, I don't know if I can say all of that. Is that okay if I?
Feel free.
Okay. He was shooting up morphine. He was prescribed morphine, and he had been doing this for years. And I guess being in jail for 30 days, you can't do what you did before you went, and it killed him. So, damn. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
Have you Have you made some kind of amends with that, or?
Yeah, I know that it's his mom. My grandmother passed away, I believe it'll be 8 years ago on Christmas Eve, and that's the last time I've been to his grave.
Mm.
It's hard.
You mind if I ask you a question?
Yeah.
If you could say anything to him today, what would you say?
You are going to make me cry.
You don't have to answer it. I
don't know. I know what he would say to me. He would say he's proud of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say he is too.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I'm proud of you.
thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Yeah, you don't know. That's okay too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he does know you loved him.
Yeah.
And he's proud of you.
Right.
And that's pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when I wasn't where I am today, that man was still proud of me. And I'm like, I wasn't doing anything spectacular, I wasn't doing anything great. I was just living. I hadn't even started getting in trouble at that point. So I guess I was doing better than I was at some point. But yeah, my dad never knew he had died before I'd started getting into trouble, or knew that my addiction had grown, or so.
So it makes me think, because said he was always proud of you, and I think that instilled something though, because look where you're at today.
Yeah.
And my daughter, she's 2.5, she's a toddler. She's not doing extraordinary feats.
Yeah.
But I tell her all the time, every night when I put her in bed, I tell her how proud I am of her.
Yeah.
Because
that does something to kids.
Plants a seed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very important. So, well, moving forward from that, so like you said, things got a little bit crazier with the addiction stuff. So did you shifted away from that other stuff? I guess the prescription meds, and then it got a little bit crazier.
Yeah. I was working as a bartender. I think it was about 5 or 6 years I bartended at a place in Columbia, Tennessee is where I was living. And we were wild. We were absolutely wild. There was very few things that we did not do drug-wise.
Yeah. And
I don't know if I've ever really told anybody that, but if it was not cocaine or alcohol or pills, it was something constantly.
I'm not trying to put people on blast, but isn't the restaurant industry kind of...
It is terrible.
My best friend, when I was in college, I told you about,
yeah.
I go visit him, and he worked at a restaurant, and, and everybody back there was on some stuff, man.
You had to deal with the public. I'm like, no, you didn't really have to, but we did.
Yeah.
We worked crazy hours too. I would get home at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So.
Damn. And that just got crazier then. I do got to ask, what would you say? I was going to ask this later on, but I think it's a good time. What do you think addiction took from you that maybe people couldn't see from the outside?
During my, the height of my addiction, I lost custody of her. I fought for years, and I could not, and I don't want to say anything bad about her dad's side of the family, but they put me through absolute hell, and I don't want to tell anybody's personal business, because that's not my business to tell, but we'll put it like this. He and I were no better off than one another.
Yeah.
We were I was not a terrible mom, but I could have been a better mom.
Yeah.
And I recognize that now. But I didn't have her for years.
In this that whole time frame where you're in addiction.
Yeah.
Do you think today, looking back, are you, I know it wrecked you, right? Do you think maybe that she was better off not with you at the time? I just, just because, I don't know, maybe related to the risk of being on stuff or whatnot, what does that run, kind of situations that run her into,
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wonder your perspective.
And that's a good possibility. I've always been honest with her and told her, I could have done better, and I could have been a better mom. And, I've had friends even say, Brooke, you were not a bad mom. You're a wonderful mom. You might have had your issues, but, you never harmed her or made anybody think you would.
Yeah.
And I guess I I found like a loophole in all that because I was on prescription medication. That's all I was doing. So, we go to court fighting for her, and it would get thrown in my face. Well, it's a prescription. How are you going to throw that in my face?
Yeah.
But I was abusing said prescription.
That's how they get you.
Yeah, I was abusing the hell out of it. And, I'm not, and maybe she was better off without me, because I always say that if I did not walk away, it was going to kill me.
Yeah.
That situation would have killed me.
And you're a better mom today because of
yeah.
Having to go through that.
Yeah.
Right?
We're very close.
That's good.
Jaden and I are extremely close.
So she doesn't hold any kind of resentment?
No.
Okay.
She tells me she doesn't. She's like, I don't blame you for what you did.
That's amazing. How old is she?
She'll be 22 next weekend.
Oh, cool. So she's older to like be more understanding too.
Yeah.
She's experienced more than. So that's good. So how many years do you think that was?
That was about 8 or 9 years.
8 or 9 years?
Yeah.
Dang. That was a tough time.
Yeah.
What kept you fighting through that?
Honestly, I don't know. Maybe, the day that I did get to see her again or talk to her, or I would try to sneak and talk to her.
Yeah.
And she's like, I remember that.
Yeah.
We would kind of communicate a little bit on Facebook, but I also think a little bit of that was like I could not let them win. Like I had to do better. I had to be better. The person they had made me out to be, because I was not a great person, but it's like they just added to it. I'm like, I haven't even done that. If I did that, I would tell you I did that.
Yeah.
But I wanted to be better.
Did anybody ever try to help you like heal?
No.
So you didn't know how?
I had no clue.
You were just lost.
So lost.
You're like, listen, dude, I'm like hooked on stuff and like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Man.
It got to the point I was so scared of withdrawing. That's where it got to. I mean, when you're taking like 30 or 40 opiates a day just to stay from getting sick.
That is insane.
It was
always prescribed to you?
No.
Okay.
Not all of it
Okay. I was like, dang, like
I'm kind of telling on
what the hell kind of doctor is this?
Yeah. This has been a long time ago. But
yeah.
It was not all prescribed. And just to stay normal.
Yeah. Were there any other kind of drugs you messed with or?
Not that I don't believe so. I've never, other than like uppers, I guess you could say, from in the like working in the food industry, that's probably it. Like, there's a lot of things I've never tried.
Yeah. And
I'm glad, because at that time I probably would have really liked it.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
Yeah, I mean, shoot. I remember, I forget what it was, but my friend was like, I remember my friend telling me one time, he's like, I'm not giving you any of this because you'll like it too much.
Right.
And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
When did you go to court? Like, when did you get the opportunity? You're going through all this. Is there anything you can reflect on in that time frame that maybe you could recall that you want to speak on? Because that's a good amount of time without your kid.
Yeah. Well, during that time, she turned 18 4 years ago next week. So I've really been back involved in her life for 4 years.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't keep up with her. And, I go through my phone sometimes and I see pictures I had found of her like on people's Facebook or on her Instagram. And she would be like, I'm sorry I unfollowed you because I didn't want them to see it and make it mad or make them mad because I was talking to you. I think a lot of it was for fear for both of us because of where she was at. Very, I don't know. I don't want to upset her if she does see this, but I feel like it was kind of like my grandmother. They wanted her to hate me.
Yeah. And
I never gave her the reason to hate me.
Yeah.
So I probably see a lot of myself in her. And, as bad as I tell her this all the time, no matter what your grandmother or your dad did to me, I will never tell you they're terrible people.
Yeah.
She just lost her grandfather. And I ask about her grandmother all the time. I'm like, how's your grandma? If she needs anything, let me know. If your dad needs anything, I've texted him, hey, how are you? You doing okay? I'm worried about Jaden.
Yeah.
So I put a lot behind me, a lot of anger and resentment for them just to carry that relationship with her. And just sitting here with you today, I have no ill will towards them.
Yeah.
None.
But for a time, they put a chip on your shoulder.
Absolutely.
Which is a good thing.
I was pissed.
Yeah.
I was pissed. And that's probably what got me through those 9 years when I said, like, I had to prove myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, her high school graduation was 4 years, or will be, I guess, 4 years ago. I went to her high school graduation in my UPS uniform.
Nice.
Well, I didn't have time to change because I just got off work.
Yeah.
But to show up to the same high school I went to and be like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Here I am.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not what you thought I was.
Right. And not that being a UPS driver is like the greatest job in the world.
I think it's a great job. I mean, hell.
It is.
Yeah.
It is a good job. We make great money and we get free benefits and a pension and retirement. And
You get to drive around and meet people all day.
Right,
And like, that's cool. I mean, I would enjoy it.
I love it. It's my office. I'm alone all day.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's pretty sick.
But it was a proud moment, especially when I was never able to hold down anything. I couldn't hold anything.
Yeah.
I could not hold on to money. I could not hold on to a job. And there was jobs I absolutely loved. But if I was not at that job getting screwed up on a Friday and Saturday night at work, I could not keep it.
Yeah.
I could not. I went and worked for a dentist. He trained me in office to become a dental assistant. Loved that job. But something about that man was just so, I guess you could say, triggering, like the way he would speak to me, that I had to go.
Yeah.
I had to go.
So you're just
Can't
kind of
do
all
this.
over the place.
All over the place.
You told me earlier that you went through like a pretty harsh withdrawal at some point.
Yes.
And I also know, you end up having to go to court
Mm-hmm.
at some point. Where does this all come in effect? So you went through that 8 years or whatever of not seeing or not being around your daughter.
Yeah.
So what was the next step after this season?
Let's see. Hudson, he's 10. He's my middle child.
Okay.
He was born in 2015.
Okay.
And that was a really big turning point in my life when I had sought help for my addiction, and that's when I was introduced to Suboxone.
Okay.
So I got on a Suboxone program. I was never told, like, hey, this should be a short-term fix. Hey, we need to get you into some counseling. This is what we expect out of you. No, I just went every month and paid a buku money and got my medication and went home, and I was just completely numb.
Yeah.
That is the most numbing substance I've ever taken in my life.
Really? I don't know much about it.
It's horrible. I would not. And I know Suboxone saves people's lives. I'm totally for that. But I will always advocate that people stay on it a very short time and they work on the root of the problem.
Oh yeah, heal the wounds.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best fix there is.
Yeah. Nobody should be on it for 7 years.
Oh my God.
Nobody.
So from 2015
well, I had been on it prior to that too for a short time. So it was about 7 years on and off. But from 15, no, actually it was 13 through 18, I had been on it straight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you obviously had to get off of that. So how did you get off of this Suboxone? My
little boy, he was 18 months old, and his father and I were in a court hearing. And the judge, I was doing really good in life. I met my now ex-husband. I was on Suboxone, of course, but in my mind, I was so, I didn't think it was a bad thing. I thought I was doing really, really good.
This is what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
Yeah.
And she did not like it. She's like, I just don't like this. You've been on this for way too long. I don't understand why anybody would be on this that long. And my lawyer, he was a younger guy. He was an amazing lawyer. He was like, Brooke, have you ever thought about going to treatment? I was like, no, I didn't. I've never thought about that. Like, I've never thought about that. Nobody has ever mentioned that to me. How can I go to treatment, though? I have, an 18-month-old. How in the world am I going to go to treatment? And he was like, well, that's something you need to think about. Maybe that we could tell her, like, hey, she's going to look into it. I was like, okay. Well, that day she was like, I'm not ready to make my decision. I want to think about it for a while. And I believe I got home at like 2 o'clock that morning from court. We were there so late in the night. And I remember the next day, it was like March 2nd that we had court. The next day I start looking for treatment facilities. I email my attorney. Hey, I found one. I leave in 3 days. I'm going to Tampa, Florida. My mom is going to help me with Hudson. I've talked to John, which is his father. I was like, he's going to keep Hudson while I'm gone. I know that might not be ideal, especially since we're in the middle of a court hearing, but I'm doing this. It's like he lit a fire under my ass.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm going.
Yeah.
And I did. I got on a plane on my dad's birthday.
Dang.
Yeah. On my dad's birthday.
He was on that plane ride with you.
Right?
Hell yeah.
Tear up again. He probably was.
Yeah, truly, and that's because that's a huge step. Why Tampa? Like, what did that distance give you?
I wanted to get as far away from Murfreesboro as I could.
Yeah.
I knew if I went close to home that I would end up leaving because I had been through Suboxone withdrawals before. I made it 21 days, like at home alone, dying. It was miserable. Just trying to get off of it. And I couldn't do it anymore. So I started taking it again. And that had been like 5 or 6 years prior. At one of the times I had tried it and then went back to opiates again. And then I got back on it and I stayed on it. I think it was like 7 years total I was on it. And I was on the exact same dosage they had given me the day they gave it to me years prior. So I get to Tampa. It was like late March 5th. So March 6th, they're like, okay, no more medication. She was like, we really don't know how to treat you because most people are coming in here are getting prescribed this. Like, we really don't know how to treat you. I'm like, well, I'm here. You're going to help me get through this.
How many days was it?
I was supposed to only go for like 7 to 10 day detox, like not long. I was not supposed to go for very long and ended up staying 17 days. I was hospitalized when I was there because my heart was giving me a lot of problems. I had also been prescribed a benzo while I was on Suboxone because I did not sleep well at all on Suboxone. So I'd also been on a benzo for years as well. Did not abuse the benzo, but I'd been on it. So my body was reacting to that as well. I was hospitalized while I was there. Found that I have a heart condition. And I had no idea I had a heart condition my entire life.
So it was something from like childhood, you're born with. Okay.
Mm-hmm. When I did get out of the hospital, I finally talked to my mom. And she was like, your grandmother is in ICU. Her lungs collapsed. She has heart failure. She's on life support. I was like, I'm coming home. So I left. And I got home, 18 days after I had left and went and seen her. And she passed away. And her funeral I was 30 days clean. Damn. And I made it through that.
30 days. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. What a wild chain of events.
Right.
Yeah.
I
mean, and that's a lot of heavy stuff at once.
Yeah.
It was just the grandmother that you had that.
No.
Okay.
This was my mom's mom.
Okay.
She was an absolute angel.
Okay.
One of the best people.
So you had to be there.
Oh, I had to be there. They kept it from me for a few days. They didn't tell me because they were afraid I'd come home.
Yeah. They wanted you to see it through.
Yeah.
Because that was big. I mean, you have your whole life ahead of you, your kid's life and everything.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, but 30 days. So how did things change from then? Was there any fear that you wouldn't make it through that 17-day that treatment there?
I was very confident being at treatment. I really enjoyed it. If I could have stayed for 3 months, I would have.
Really?
I loved it.
Nice.
I loved having somebody I could talk to, therapist. If I wasn't feeling well, I had a nurse. I felt very comfortable there.
So it made the withdrawals probably even better.
It did. And one thing that has always stood out to me is we would have these classes, and we had one where we meditated. And the guy, he was like, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to think about where you want to be in 2 years. I was like, okay. And in my mind, I'm like, I want to go to college. I want to get a good job. I'm going to do this. And that has always stuck out to me.
Yeah.
So.
Hell yeah.
So I didn't go to college, but I got a good job.
You got a good job. Yeah. Don't you typically, I don't know, isn't it pretty hard to become a UPS driver?
It's very difficult, yeah. It's based on seniority.
Oh, really?
We're unionized, yeah.
Okay, cool.
You have to work your way up.
So you made it.
I did.
That's sick.
I did.
You're going to end up running the whole company.
Maybe.
So your whole life has changed. This is 2018, right?
Yes.
Okay. This is the same year I got my Rick. Crazy stuff. So what's life been like since then?
It's been good. The first, I'm going to say 3 years, I was at a meeting. I did my 90 and 90.
Yeah.
Narcotics Anonymous really changed my life. It did. I met some wonderful people. And I just want to say I'm not knocking anybody that has multiple years clean or anything like that still is involved in NA or AA. That I commend you. I do.
Yeah.
But what works for you does not always work for everybody else.
Yeah, everybody's healing is different.
It is. And I feel like when I stepped foot in therapy, I knew if I didn't get my shit together, I was going to lose my kid for the second time.
Yeah.
I'd lost the first. I could not do it again. I could not live through that again. And I always say I went to treatment for Hudson, but I stayed for me.
Yeah.
I stayed for me. And that's what was like a light switch, like, damn, you can do this. Like all of this, I never knew this was possible. Like I didn't know this. I just thought I had to suffer through this or live like this forever.
Wow.
And the doctor who prescribed me Suboxone, I'll never forget, I came home like in the March of 2018. I started UPS in May of 2018. And he told me when I left for treatment, he was like, Brooke, you'll never make it through these withdrawals. They are so bad. He's like, I've told you a million times you'll be on this for the rest of your life. He's like, if you make it, come back and see me, please. So I had been at UPS for about 9 months, I guess.
Why the hell would you prescribe it?
Right. I had been at UPS for 9 months, and he is in Smyrna, and I work in Laverne. So I was like, you know what? I'm in my UPS uniform. I'm just going to swing by there and see if I see old doctor.
Look at me.
And I walked in. I was like, hey, I'm an ex-patient of so-and-so. I was like, is he here? She's like, well, if you're not a patient, you can't see him. And I see him poke his head around the corner. He said, Brooke? I was like, hey.
How'd that feel?
He was so proud of me. He was like, I never thought you'd make it through that. I never thought it.
You got to be so proud of yourself.
Yeah, I was. And I respect him for being honest with me because most people probably wouldn't make it through that. But I was bound and determined to get through that.
And you're such a light for other people.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so stoked you're here.
No, thank you.
Because, hearing your story and like, it's crazy to me that like, over all this time, nobody was like, hey, you need to heal.
No.
You need to work on, because to me, I feel like that'd be second nature.
Yeah.
Right? Especially if you care about somebody. Mm-hmm. But you never had that. So this whole time, it's just, I'm trying to put myself in your shoes, which I can only do so much, but like, you got these years and years, you got all this trauma, all this stuff you dealt with, all these things that were instilled to you at an early age. And then you go through, addiction and everything, and you just feel like you're just fated to suffer.
Yes, I really did. And what's so sad is that nobody ever brought up to get some help or anything like that other than that judge.
I mean,
that is the first person that was ever like, hey, maybe you should not be on this.
Yeah, that's good. They pointed that out.
Yeah. And I'll never forget when I seen her again, and I was able to say, hey, at this point I have 6 years and such clean. And I had left work and filed emergency custody of that same little boy, and she granted me full custody.
Hell yes. Yeah. That feels so good for me too, to hear that. The same judge, right?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
So that's wild.
Yep. It was definitely a moment.
Yeah.
That I will never forget.
Yeah. Carry that with you.
Yeah. And maybe you could call it an ego thing. I've always wanted to be better than everybody perceived me. Like, oh, she's just a junkie or an addict, or, can't keep a job. She's never going to be nothing. Well, and maybe that's why I'm so proud of where I am today.
You should be.
So
a lot of people never escape that.
Yeah.
That world, I mean, it's it's a black hole.
Yeah.
And a lot of people get sucked in for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
And eventually takes them out, and you're giving the severity, it's not all as often somebody escapes that way and creates a successful life.
Yeah.
And to me, I think that's just such a powerful testament, and you shed a light, like, not only for everybody going through these things, but especially women, I mean, I'd say you're a leader, and so I'm praying that so many people see this, especially that are going through similar scenarios, right? And they're just lost and they feel like they can't escape. Like, you're a prime example of somebody that they can look to and see that light.
Yeah. I feel like there's a stigma on women, especially mothers. Like, we're not supposed to have problems.
Yeah.
A mom's not supposed to be an addict.
Yeah.
How did you end up like that? And that's, I was going to say that a minute ago. I feel like I was around people that never thought that maybe I needed help because they were so broken too. Like, they didn't even know they needed help. Like, you need help.
Yeah.
And I will say, Hudson will be 11 in February, and he has had a rough way.
Yeah.
He is in therapy. I got him help, and I will continue to get him help.
Was it just that time away from you?
No, he's just had a rough way with some things. I don't know if I really want to get into that, but it's been some abuse issues and stuff like that. And yeah.
But you're doing what you can.
Yeah.
You've been proactive towards healing, and you're still doing so.
Yeah.
I think we're always going to be healing and uncovering things, right? Yeah. Like, it's going to be a lifetime of pulling off masks, and growth. So, but because of that, the person at the time maybe not see what he's going through is like, he needs help. Like,
I could see it, like, at such a young age, and
wow.
I could look at him and just the anger and the rage. I'm like, I see you.
Yeah.
And I had pushed for a long time to get him put into therapy, and at the time his father and I had to agree on it.
Mm-hmm.
He would not do it. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, yeah, because he's going to tell on you. He's going to tell, and you don't want that that doesn't fit your narrative.
Yeah.
So whenever she had granted me full custody, I didn't have to have his permission. So I did it. Yeah. And I even started therapy along with him.
Good for you.
Because of all of it. I had been through therapy prior. I had, been through the NA program, sponsor, steps, all those things. And I wanted to go back. There were still things I needed to work on. Yeah,
and I bet that was difficult for you to hear his experience.
Yeah.
As his mother, because you just want the best for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's doing a lot better today. And I will say his dad is doing a lot better today as well.
Good.
Yeah, and I have never, it's just like my oldest daughter's family, I will never wish him any harm. I've always wanted him to be a good father, and he's doing a lot better today. I truly feel, and I hope that he has been like, you know what, maybe that was wrong. Maybe that was wrong of me to do the things that he's done to me, but mainly to his child.
Yeah, well, because a lot of people's actions stem from their wounds.
Yeah, and I have spoken to his mom. He does not have a relationship with his mom, and she's told me, like, Brooke, it was rough.
I'll never forget someone once told me, they said, show your shadows compassion.
Right.
And it's really like, you think about things people do, and it's like, well, I don't think people are born and they're going to think they're going to do these things. I think we're all pure, but like, it's the circumstances, right? And the things we face that mold our actions, and people do some terrible things.
Yeah.
But like, it's always something I always think of, like, but what did they face?
Yeah.
What led them there? Doesn't make it right. Getting past, your recovery and stuff like that. I mean, would you say you're still, so how long have you been clean?
Since March 6th of 2018.
March 6th, 2018.
Mm-hmm.
So 7 years?
7 years and 5 months.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
How's that been?
It's been great.
Yeah.
Like, I have experienced life. I haven't really ever known life that I was not held down by some sort of substance.
So you're truly living now.
I am. And I have lived more in the last 7 years than I ever have.
Isn't that amazing?
It is. It's good.
And you've created an opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
How does recovery look now as opposed to, like, the first couple of years, I think?
The first couple of years, I was still trying to figure everything out. I didn't know myself. I had no clue who I was. Learning what I like and how to stand up for myself and feeling emotion for the first time. Back to my grandmother passing away. I was 30 days clean. I don't think I cried over her passing for probably 3 years.
Yeah.
I was so numb.
Really?
So numb. And I barely remember. I mean, coming off of Suboxone, I was in bed for 60 days. There was not a day that I was not throwing up sick. It was absolute misery.
That's just the darkness trying to reel you back in.
Absolutely.
Hey, come back. You won't feel like this anymore.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, that to me is like, those are literal. If people ask if I believe in demons and stuff, I'm like, those are demons.
Yes.
That's what a demon looks like to me.
Yep.
Is addiction and depression and those dark things that just like, you can't see them, but they're reeling you in.
I wrote in a journal every day for 60 days. I've always tried to journal and do it every day, but I kept up with my withdrawal.
Do you ever look back at it?
If I could find it, I would love to look back at it.
Wow.
It's somewhere in my closet. But yeah, I kept up with it every day.
I got an idea.
What
if you got that journal and you read through it?
Yeah.
And I'm sure like that reflection would be like, holy shit, it probably hit you hard.
Yeah.
But maybe pick back up the journal and start writing from life today.
Yeah.
And it'd be cool to look back at it, then, as opposed to when you started now, and be like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Who was that person?
Right. Right. Well, I was so dependent on the medication to survive day to day. And then I was dependent on my then husband to survive day to day. So, I get my job at UPS and I'm just a package handler making, $14 an hour in the building for 4 to 5 hours a day. And then I go home and watch a kid all day. I really didn't still bring anything to the table. And I go back to thinking about the meditation and manifesting.
Yeah.
I'm like, you want more than this.
Yeah.
So they come to me. They're like, hey, we're signing people up if y'all want to drive. You got to be able to drive a stick shift. I'm like, I can drive a stick shift.
Yeah.
I grew up in the backwoods of Tennessee. Of course I can drive a stick shift.
Who are you talking to? Yeah,
Right.
you're just like.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I was like, I never thought of that. I just got this job for a little extra money and it gave me and my family insurance.
Yeah.
So I did. And, at that time, my marriage had fallen apart from getting back from treatment. It was just not good. He's a wonderful man, great guy, but we just did not vibe. Yeah. And I had never known him where I wasn't on a medication.
Yeah.
Like, I think I craved normalcy. So to be normal and to have love, and maybe I was so, like, I had dad issues in a way, like,
yeah,
daddy issues. Like, I wanted something so bad, a man to love me so bad, and he did. And I'm sure to this day, actually, I know he loves me and I love him. He's a wonderful person. Yeah. But it's not the kind of love that I imagined for myself.
Yeah. Maybe you had to find that within yourself.
Yeah, I did. And that's like the whole dating journey and all of that. Being alone and my kids seeing me alone, and I'm the breadwinner of my household, and I pay my bills, and I do all these things for you. I have a car payment. We have a house to pay for, and I'm doing that by myself. I don't need anybody.
Yeah.
And my therapist is like, well, you're extremely, you're hyper independent. I was like, well, that sounds great. She's like, but it's not.
Oh.
It's not. That's not a great thing. Like, you just don't care anything about dating. I'm like, no. Right now, I care about healing.
You fully healing to the greatest of your capacity,
Yeah.
and maybe that door opening
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Heal first.
Yes.
Love yourself as much as possible, because it goes to you being able to set that standard, right? Set
Mm-hmm.
expectations. I mean, one thing I tell people, about my wife and I, when we first met, I was tired of the bullshit.
Yeah.
I said, listen, our first date, it's like I opened up my journal. I was like, this is what I'm about.
Right.
This is who I am. This is what I believe in. Just take it or leave it.
There should be transparency with people in dating.
People are so reluctant on that.
I know. Well, they're so afraid that, oh God, they're not going to like me. So what?
Yeah, it's good. Had them not like you day one
Right.
rather than a year or two down the road.
Exactly. I'm going to be honest. I'm an open book. For 2.5 years, I didn't even speak to a guy other than like guy friends at work.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you? We'd have some conversations, but on a romantic level or even possibly considering dating someone, nothing.
Yeah, because you became dependent on that external
Yeah.
love,
Mm-hmm.
absent of the love for yourself.
Yeah.
And how can you understand that if you don't even know that
Right.
here?
Right. Well, that's why I've always picked the wrong ones.
Yeah.
I've always ended up in these just, borderline abusive, financially, mentally, emotionally, sometimes even physically
Yeah.
relationships. It's because I was not healed.
Yeah.
I even 3 or 4 years into to recovery, I was still not healed.
Yeah. My mom asked me one time, she said, it was after my last, she's like, Joe, you got what you want. Like, aren't you afraid you may never find what you are hoping for?
Yeah.
I said, I'll die alone.
Right. Same.
I said, why would I go through life not who I'm supposed to be?
Right.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out fully who I'm supposed to be. And why would I have someone that drains that? It makes no sense. So yeah, I say you keep doing you become whole.
Yeah.
And that door may or may not, I can't promise nothing.
Right.
I hope it does.
I've kind of been out there a little bit recently. My friend that's went through the divorce, we've kind of talked about it and joked about it. And I'm open to it now. I'm not going to say I haven't. I'm interested. I'm out there.
Yeah.
I'm out there. Okay. There's some weirdos out there though, for sure.
Oh yeah. That's for sure.
But there's also some really nice guys.
Hell yeah.
So,
well, when, as far as your kids go, again, highlight them. You talked about your relationship with your daughter, what your relationship were like with your other kids. Just sum that all up pretty much as to what it looks like today. Obviously he's healing.
yes.
Right. And you're working with them through that, but you stay pretty busy with them. So,
Yeah.
and you're all always pretty close.
Yes.
And I forget, are any of them with you full time? I think the middle one is.
We are back to 50-50.
Okay.
With Hudson. We are back to 50-50. Jaden lives in Lawrenceburg, but we talk almost every day.
Okay.
We're very close. We just went on a family vacation to Florida. We've done that the last few years. So we had a great time. The littles, as I call them, the two littles, Brooklyn and Hudson, they were absolute hellcats the entire trip. So, Jaden and I had a blast, though.
Hell yeah. I love that. It's crazy hearing you from the beginning of the story.
Yeah.
Just looking at you and just feeling what I did then, as opposed to now you glow.
Yeah.
Talking about life.
Yeah.
It's beautiful to see that transformation.
Yeah.
You
I
know what I'm
love
saying?
life today.
Yeah. Well, and as you should. I mean,
Yeah.
you've earned it, right? And you just keep creating more beauty.
Yeah.
You know, you don't focus on the negative. You just focus on healing from it. You know, if there are any moms out there fighting this fight, similar to you, right? What could you say to them to offer them some kind of guidance or hope?
Just don't stop fighting. Fight. Even if it is an ego thing at first, like, hey, I've got to show these people that I am better than that, or what they're saying is not true, or, you know, whatever it may be. Just don't stop.
Yeah.
I gave up one time. I gave up on my oldest, and I will never do that again.
Always fight.
Always.
Yeah.
Always fight.
Well, what do you think, what would you say the first step is somebody can take if you were to like offer advice, right? Just from your perspective, what would be the first step to take?
Like as going into treatment, or
just like
anything.
to step away from that lifestyle.
To be vulnerable and seek someone to help you get through it.
Yeah.
Like there's somebody that will help you. I had a friend that was in recovery and she had a baby, and she actually tried to get me to take her baby. And if she would have went to treatment and got help, I would have taken her child for her.
Yeah.
But I did not think that she was ready.
Yeah.
And I knew I would be raising a baby that she'd probably never see her mom. And she got clean. I don't know if she's still clean. I haven't spoken to her in a long time, but she did for a while, and she's doing really good.
Yeah.
And the time I was around her, I was very proud of her.
Oh,
she
yeah.
has it in her. I see a lot of me in her.
Yeah.
But she's just never hit that, I'm going to lose it all.
Yeah.
So.
You know, it's like one of those things, like the work never stops.
Absolutely.
You know, imagine like, because life is beautiful today, it doesn't mean hard shit's not going to come.
Right.
Right. And those are going to be the times that call you back to the darkness, right? That's in every aspect of life.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like it's constant work.
Yeah. I still have dark days. Like when it's time for the kids to leave, I'm just like, ugh, you know,
Overwhelming.
bored.
Yeah.
You know, I love when they're there. And then there's times where I'm like, whoosh, let me clean my house. I'm home alone. And then it's like it gets quiet and I'm like, damn, this sucks.
Get your cello. Trust me,
maybe
that'll occupy you for a while. You're like, oh.
Maybe I should.
Yeah, right.
I have a friend at work that's like a very talented musician, and I collect a lot of old records.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite bands is Fleetwood Mac and Chains, you know,
Yeah.
the bass part in Chains.
Oh, yeah.
I text him one day. I'm like, can you teach me how to play this? He's like, yeah, it's actually very simple. And he sends me an instant video of him doing it. I'm like, well, that did not help me.
He's like, you caught me in the moment anyways.
He's like, sure, when you want to learn. I'm like, I don't know. But
one of these days, we'll make it happen.
yeah, I love when people are like, well, what are your hobbies? I'm like, plants. I love plants.
Yeah.
I love plants.
Hey, just grow a bunch of plants.
I do.
Oh, I must say, it
do.
works out beautifully.
And I
You're
could
bringing
not
life.
keep a plant alive in addiction. But when I got in recovery, I'm like, everybody's like, before you get in a relationship, get a house plant, get an animal. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get a house plant. I kept a house plant alive, and it's turned into an full-blown addiction. Maybe I need Plant Anonymous.
Plant therapy. It's just driving me insane.
I probably have about 70 house plants now.
I think that's great. That's a positive thing. I don't think there's anything bad about that.
Clean air.
So yeah, of course. But
Yeah.
man, I just got to say, like, I've just loved hearing your story.
Thank you.
It's been beautiful. Like, I mean, you've been through some shit.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's people that have had it a lot worse. And that's probably why I've always kept my mouth shut in meetings and in the rooms, is because I'm like, this person had a lot worse. This person was done this too, or have, you know, been trafficked, or, you know, all these bad things happen to them. And here I am. It's my bad things though.
Yeah. This is your experience.
And it took me a long time to realize that. Like, we all have our own bad and our own rock bottom, and mine might not be as bad as yours, but it's bad to me.
It's bad to you, you know, and the thing is that you overcame it. And yeah, I've learned that, like, there's no use in that comparison.
Yeah.
You know, we can't walk in anybody else's shoes, you know, but we have our experience here, and we should be able to share it. because someone's going to be able to connect with it. And I know there's a lot of people out there that'll hear this. I truly believe that are going to gain so much from you. So I'm just so honored that you were willing to come on here and share your journey.
Yeah.
And it does beg me to ask the big question.
What's that?
What is your relentless pursuit?
Happiness. Self-love.
Simple.
Yep.
Beautiful. And you're finding that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really am.
You're just going to keep that up.
Every day.
Every single day. Well, just so you know, I'm here for you.
Thank you.
I'm excited to see where you go. I mean, I feel like you're just getting started in this journey too, of healing. I mean, there's so much ahead of you. I can see it. And I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
For how far you've come. I mean, this is an awesome story. And I don't know. I don't know how to express my excitement. I just get so pumped because I'm stoked to put this out there here in just a few days.
Yeah.
You know, the world's going to be able to see it. So is there anything else that you've got for me, Brooke?
I would probably tell women in recovery, moms, to fight, of course, but once they do get on their feet and get through the hard part of recovery or, withdrawal, whatever, is to, start healing themselves, look into to therapy, an outpatient therapy, whatever it may be, but work on that deep-seated trauma, the pain.
Yeah.
Really work on that because I lived in it for even years into recovery. And once I started actually healing and being alone and being comfortable in my own silence and my pain and working through that, I really started living. And I did not start living till I was like 38 years old.
But you started.
I did. And I have been to Mexico twice. And, I never imagined that I would be able to have a passport.
Yeah.
Because that was me. Like, I'm not going to be able to ever go anywhere. I stay in trouble all the time.
Yeah.
Mexico with my sponsor / best friend. 2 years in a row. Had a blast.
That's so freaking awesome.
Best time of my life.
You're living life.
Yes.
Living a beautiful life. And
yes.
But you're so much more present in it because of your experience.
Yeah.
You're not taking anything for granted.
No. And I get, of course, UPS gives vacations. So the longer I'm there, the more vacation I get. I get up to like 6 weeks of vacation.
Yeah.
So right now I'm working on my 3rd year. And I've told my friends, I'm like, every May, we're going to a new country.
Yeah.
Every May. So we're going somewhere. I'm living life.
Hell yeah.
Like, them kids are fine. Y'all's kids are fine. Let's go.
Yeah.
You got to be selfish in some aspects of life.
This is still your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I don't really think it's selfish. I think it's healing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you've got to experience. We're here to experience it.
Yeah.
We can't just be comfortable and not go do things.
Yeah.
Because of fear of like, oh, the kids may need me or something. Because I've run into that. I'm like, dude, what if I leave town and like a nuke goes off?
Right.
My family needs me. That's so crazy. Like the chances of that happening. But like, I get super anxious, like the build up, like, because I always think, what if my family needs me and I'm gone, But you gotta maximize the experience. I mean, you paid some dues and keep crushing it.
The first year we went, I had gotten the full custody of my son, and he had been with me for like 7 or 8 months straight at that point, not a night away from me. And we had planned this trip like a year in advance.
Yeah.
So it's coming up on it. And my mom's like, well, I'll use my vacation. I'll come up and stay with them, get them to school, pick them up. I'm like, okay. So I get to Mexico on a Saturday or Sunday, and about Wednesday, here comes the mom guilt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like looking at flights home. I'm like, I'm supposed to be here 7 days. There's no way I can stay here 7 days.
I can't do it.
I miss my kids, and I'm like depressed.
Yeah.
And my mom's like, you're fine. They're fine.
Yeah.
They're fine. I'm like, but I don't know. That's my whole personality.
Yeah.
But this past year, I'm like, see ya. Adios.
Thank you for sharing that. And thank you for being here. And I look forward to next time.
Yes.
Because we're going to have to get you back in here one of these days.
Absolutely.
See
I'd
where
love
you're
that.
at then. Yeah. Hell yeah. Before we wrap up, I'm going to be asking some more questions.
Okay.
A little bit deeper, some more lighthearted. But you can't see those unless you go to the Relentless Pursuit Patreon. So we're going to be doing this extra segment that, we just dive into a little bit more stuff with our guests, and that'll be exclusive to that page. So check it out at the link below. Thank you. Show some love. It's going to be, offer some more value and just cool conversation. But anyways, thank you for being here. Bat it out of the way.
Just throw it out of the way. Thank you.
Better. All right, guys. Y'all take care. This isn't just a podcast. This is my life's work. In a world full of noise, debate, filters, and artificial content, this platform is real. It's raw. It's human. Every episode, we dive deep into stories that matter. Pain, purpose, transformation. We're here to give people a voice, speak truth, and connect through something deeper than algorithms. And we're growing fast. We've already reached over 20 million views across all platforms, with an audience that is loyal, engaged, and passionate about this show because it speaks to the soul. If your business or brand believes in authenticity, if you value marketing through something that reflects your values and aligns with real impact, then this is your opportunity. Sponsorship isn't just support, it's fuel. It's how I keep this mission alive. It's how I continue to shine light on powerful, untold stories that need to be heard. If you want to reach people, not just through metrics, but through their hearts, their minds, and purpose, let's partner. Let's build something that matters.